Welcome to Catalyst Conversations, the podcast where we spark powerful change in women's wealth. I'm Hadriana, a wealth coach, counselor, and strategist, and each week we dive into the conversations, strategies, and stories that help women confidently create the life they've always dreamed of. In this space, we bring together the wisdom of people from all walks of life who are ready to break free from the cycle of financial stress and build lasting wealth. From interviews with inspiring people, to deep dives into money mindset, to practical tips for achieving financial freedom, you'll find it all here. Together, we'll unlock the mindset, tools, and strategies that empower you to step into your financial power. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or you're a loyal listener, we're here to support your wealth journey. So grab your favorite bevy, settle in, and let's get started on transforming your relationship with money. This is Catalyst Conversations, igniting change in women's wealth. Let's spark the conversation. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Catalyst Conversations, where we're sparking change in women's wealth, and specifically to this edition because I am giving you my 2 cents. So the inspiration for this episode came from an interaction I had with someone, a male person, some time ago. And in that interaction, I heard I guess the sentiment that was shared was such that this person, this male specimen, was very upset, quite taken aback, quite put off by the idea of women supporting women, was rather ticked off that someone would dare to support another woman, and was essentially expressing, because you're a woman, you'll always support women and forget about the men. Deep breath, calm myself down. I thought I'd do this episode for the fellas, okay? This one's for you, because I want to ensure that we have a clear understanding. First things first, after having had that interaction, I had some rather strong emotions. So I'm gonna say this here because I was rather put out and by that sentiment, because and as a result, I thought, you know what, this person, and I added some adjectives. So I have since repented and realized something. So I put on my coach and counselor hat, and I put that over the replay of this interaction, and I realized something. So I put on my coach and counselor hat, and I put that if I were to add grace and a professional observation, that what came across as anger may well have been fear. So this one's for you if you face the world as male, and if you are uncomfortable, if you are not understanding, or if you are somehow put out by the idea of women's empowerment. Let me say this. The only people who should feel threatened by women's empowerment are the people who derive their power from making women subservient. So if that is not you, then keep listening, because I want to engage you as an ally for the women in your life. And I want you to see why women empowered benefits everybody. Oh my goodness. Okay, before I okay. So let's just dive in because yeah, I don't want to get too passionate and then we miss the points. This episode is a message for our men. Understand that as a wealth coach, counselor, and strategist working with women, professional women, and couples, that my message is not anti men. I am not one of those out there who is looking to pull down men and maleness and belittle men or stomp on them. I love me a fine man. Okay, let's just be clear. The rings on my finger depict my marital status to a man. That's my way of engaging with the world. And I like men. I had a strong father figure, and my brothers are phenomenal men. That does not make them perfect. They are as human as anyone else. So let's be clear that the work of Money Navigator International is by no means anti men. My goal with this episode is to invite men into the conversation and to highlight why women's financial empowerment is good for all of us, everybody. If you're threatened by that, you need to rethink it. But if you're uncomfortable, if you just don't understand, if you're kind of scared about messing with the status quo, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. So first things first, women's empowerment is not, I say again, women's empowerment is not a threat. Women gaining financial independence does not mean that men lose power. It does not mean that you lose your manhood. It does not mean that all of a sudden women take over. And we can if we have to. We've had to for centuries. But us becoming financially empowered does not negate your worth, your contribution as a man. It is not a competition. So let's be clear about that. You might be uncomfortable seeing women step into financial empowerment, and that might have to do with your social conditioning. You understand that society has programmed us to take some very specific gender roles to the detriment of many because that those supposed gender roles do not take into consideration natural strengths and giftedness. We have to stop trying to find a lane based on if we have a ding-a-ling or not. We need to start looking at how we can contribute as men and women to the good of society based on our gifts and our strengths, right? We need to reframe empowerment not as a way of excluding each other, but as a way of us together working and expanding our influence, expanding our contributions, expanding our impact. So, you as a gentle man should not be threatened by women becoming financially empowered. Okay, let me move on. Women's wealth is good for everybody, and the research has proven it time and time again. Move on. Women's wealth is wealth in women's hands moves our social agendas in ways that wealth in men's hands alone cannot and does not. There is proof, and we have seen it time and time again. Women who are financially empowered lead to stronger families, stronger communities, and stronger relationships. If you are honest as a man in the world, the pressure that you face to take care of your family, to provide for the family, to make the big bucks, and society is telling you all these things, your life gets better when you have a partner beside you, if you decide that a woman is the partner you're looking for, and that woman is empowered, she is on par with you financially, she can either support your financial decisions or lead in the financial wellness of your family. That pressure gets lifted. There's no reason for you to have to carry it alone. The financial stress is reduced in your household. The dynamic between partners is improved. You guys are now in sync. The synergy is good so that you're not just relating well in the bedroom. Hopefully the money messes has not messed up the bedroom, but you're not just relating well in the bedroom, you're relating well in the matters that create impact and generational wealth, so that both of you are contributing well to these conversations and decision making. Also, and this is something I think a lot of men need to think about. If you are raising daughters, these girls become women and they may choose to have male partners. You want for that girl, you want for that daughter to be empowered. You would never want for that woman to be at the beck and call, to be left to the devices of a male who does not understand, who is disempowering, and who may use finances as a weapon against your daughter. Financial empowerment for women is something that any father of girls should be supporting. And let's not even get into the economic benefits. Women typically make better, stronger, well rounded wealth decisions when it comes to investing. There's something about how we look at investing decisions. Women make far better investors. And when women build how we look at investing decisions, women make far better investors. And when women build wealth, economies grow. When women are part of the wealth conversations, whether as leaders or as equal opportunity contributors to the conversations, economies thrive, economies do well. So please, 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 wealth in women's hands, women who are financially empowered, everybody benefits. It is just good all the way around. So here's what I'd like to do. Here's what I'd like to offer you. I would like for you, my wonderful, gentle man, to join us. Financial empowerment. Can we do that? Yes, we can. All right, here's how men, males, the people who interact with the world as a male species, here's how you can help us and support us on our road to financial empowerment. Please encourage financial independence in the lives of the women that interact with you. It could be your sister, your mother, your daughters, your colleagues at work. Do not become a crutch for them when it comes to finances. Encourage them to make independent decisions. Encourage them to seek out information that empowers. Encourage them to do the research and make decisions based on what their inclination says. Encourage the development of that financial gut instinct, because it is vital. It is an integral part of how women thrive financially. So encourage the women in your life to go down that financial empowerment course and encourage them to become confident, unapologetic, wealthy women. Second, celebrate our successes. Celebrating with a woman does not mean that you lose or that you're less than. Big her up as she makes wise financial decisions and enacts wise financial choices. Celebrate that. As she's earning more, celebrate it. As she's investing, celebrate it. As she's building wealth, everybody benefits. So for heaven's sake, throw her a party, or at the very least, give her a pat on the back, because as she's doing well, we're all doing well also. Number three, and this one might be a little more difficult, but I want you to challenge the limiting beliefs that you've had as it relates to women and wealth. If you feel resistance while you're doing that, if you feel resistance anytime a woman speaks about being empowered, if you feel any resistance when women talk about money, or your gut reaction is to, disregard them or toss them aside, any of these things, examine where that belief comes from. If your first reaction when a woman says, I got some extra money, and you're thinking, okay, there it blows because it's going to be spent on shoes and this and that, ask yourself, where did that come from? Did this person actually exemplify that? Or are you taking behaviors that society has decided to magnify and putting it on this one woman without any reason? And if you have seen that exemplified, do you have an opportunity to support change? Challenge those beliefs that you've associated with women and wealth. And instead of focusing on that belief that perpetuates negativity and imbalance, challenge it so that you can now be an ally for positivity and a balanced approach to wealth, where men and women are together creating change and together making decisions where all of us can benefit. Next, I'd like for you to learn together. If you are in a relationship with a woman, consider together doing the work as a couple so that you can move forward together. I always say this: if a cart is being pulled by two horses, and one horse is going left, the other is going right, that cart is not only not going forward, it is falling apart. And one horse is going left, the other is going. So if you are facing any challenges with your wealth, if there is an imbalance in decision making, in roles and responsibilities, consider coming together and learning together. Share resources, attend workshops that specifically are designed for couples. And I can tell you that my work with couples is very good. I'm just saying, and I'm not pretending. I'm not going to pull any punches with this. When couples work their money together, the ground is level. The impact, no name calling. We come to neutral territory, and you get to learn together. You get to explore strengths. You get to assign roles that gets both of you to shine, because now you're making decisions based on your strengths, your inherent giftedness, as opposed to what society says should be the man's job or the woman's job. So commit to learning together. And finally, create spaces where women's financial knowledge and leadership are valued. Amplify the voices of women in wealth spaces. Use your access to the table to give women spaces to speak, to share, to contribute. Be intentional about bringing women's perspectives to the forefront so that they are considered, they are heard. That's how you can be an ally. So take those into consideration. Encourage financial independence. Celebrate your women's success. Challenge those limiting beliefs that you never chose to have, but they seem to have taken residence in your mind, in your psyche. Learn together and amplify women's voices. Guys, the future, our wellness, our economy, the good of our families, it is in collaboration, not just these influencers doing collabs on social media. Working together with women means that we can set ourselves up to grow together. It's about working together, not stepping on men and not men stepping aside either. We do this together. Our future wellness does not mean that for women to grow, men have to diminish. Not at all. We get to grow together. And the men in our lives who are already supporting their women, I'm going to do this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You are already doing the work to hold up the women in their giftedness, in their strength, and letting the world know that they've got something to share. You are what the allies should look like. The future of wealth is collaborative. So if this episode has sparked anything in you, share it with another guy. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's create a world where wealth is built together, not in competition, because we're not in competition. Not where to climb the ladder, I have to kick you down. No, guys, literally, guys, we build it together until that time when we achieve some kind of utopia, some kind of, heaven on earth. Let's be deliberate to support one another. Let's be intentional to grow together. Let's provide what's needed. You know the difference between equity and equality. Equality gives level ground so everybody starts at the same point. But equity in wealth means that we provide what's needed so that everyone has the same opportunity. Women need support to become financially empowered. And in doing so, the whole world benefits. As I say, when women change their world, they change the world. Wait for it, watch for it, be part of it with us. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed my 2 cents. I will see you around sometime soon. Take care. Thank you for joining me today on Catalyst Conversations. I hope this episode sparked something powerful to help on your journey to building wealth confidently and unapologetically. If you loved today's conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if something resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep moving toward your goals, stay empowered, and continue sparking change on your wealth journey. This is Hadriana, and you've been listening to Catalyst Conversations.